everybody. Didn't think I'd be back on the channel, but here we are. Today I'm doing a map tier list for every map in Blitz. And, you know, some of my placements might surprise you, some of them might not. But I would like to keep in mind that this is not a subjective ranking. This is just my opinion. You can like a map more or less than me. This is not the definitive tier list, but I encourage you to make one of your own if you'd like to. Let's get started with the first map. The first map on our list is going to be Thorin, the Notch Lava face map. Yeah, this map does not really have a whole lot of chests. I'd say it's got enough if you're playing a kit like Paladin or Farmer that gets plenty of gear. But if you're playing a kit like Archer, for example, that doesn't get a whole lot of gear and you need to find utility, a weapon even, in some cases like Archers, it's not going to be very good. You have to... This is basically one of those where you sort of just have to rush mid, because, you know, if you go this way, I don't get that chest, but I get this chest, I get this chest, that's 2, 3, 4, and then I go down here if I have a weapon. If I don't, I might swing by, maybe grab that one. But if I see people killing each other down there, I'm obviously not going to go there. So I get chest number 6. And that's about it. There's one, I think there's one under that one, the far one. And there's 7 here. But this map, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this map particularly. At the very least, it does have an enchantment table in the middle, which is something that some maps don't have, but it's lacking a crafting table. I don't actually know where a crafting table is. Maybe I do. Maybe there's one up here. Yeah. So this is the crafting table that's here on the map. I don't know about any on the other side of the map, which I can go ahead and check out. Just gotta load. Okay, there is another crafting table on this side of the map, and it's not down here in this meteorite lava pit. But yeah, I mean, crafting tables are very far away from the enchantment table, at least in that one's case. But actually, yeah, both of them are pretty far. So I'm gonna be putting this map in the D tier because not a whole lot of chests. Some kits will struggle super hard to get by and get like high kill games. But I wouldn't put it any lower just because there's plenty of flat surfaces. You know, you can fight wherever. And really the only place you gotta worry about a clean is near spawn. So that's helpful. As for down here, this general location is kind of just a nightmare. If you don't have a weapon, you're kind of screwed. But yep, D tier. On to the next one. Good old Citadel, a map with probably the most useless spawn out of all of them. Maybe even just the worst spawn in general. I mean, if you spawn back here and you don't get a weapon from your mid chest and somebody else does and they tunnel vision you, like, good luck, man. But yeah, one major part about this map is that it doesn't have an enchantment table. I believe it's the only one that doesn't. I could be wrong. I guess I'll see making this video, but yeah. So spawn sucks. If there was a way to run somewhere out of there, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, there are pretty much no chests outside of maybe one behind a tree somewhere. Yeah, that one. Until you get back here, and this is the route I usually take. There's 2 here. Most people don't loot this one, which is why I still take this route even if somebody gets a weapon out of that one. But then there's not much else. There's one way back there, but sometimes it's not even worth it. And then other times, you go through here, and you can get this one. And then there's some back around here. But by that time, you're getting your kit, and you never know when some Blaze 10 is going to be bearing down on you. And you're trying to run through all this goofy-ass terrain, and through the trees and whatnot. But yeah. The terrain on this map is just, it's pretty garbage. At least there's crafting tables on this map, but it really would have killed them to put one at spawn, I guess. So yeah, overall, even though there's all this terrain, people can still run forever, and there's more opportunities for you to mess up your jumps. So yep, I think for a lack of an enchantment table, that's already going to bring it down 3 tiers. But for everything else, I'm going to take this map and throw it into the E tier. It's not bottom of the barrel. There is one map and one map alone that belongs there, and you'll see what it is later. But yeah, otherwise Citadel does not have that many redeeming qualities. I suppose nobody can really run from mid. It's that part is a double-edged sword. You know, it's like at the beginning you can't run from mid if you spawn back here, and if you get unlucky with, say, somebody getting a sword. But if you're chasing somebody late game and you get them in this corner, then that's an opportunity for you to take the lead in the game. However, you're gonna get clean pretty much anywhere you go on this map. The little towers up here. It's a very aesthetically pleasing map, but this, like, E tier, you know, it's the lowest I'm gonna give it. It's the lowest I can really give any map that's not the one that I have reserved for F tier. So, yep, I'm a Citadel hater. Deal with it. Next map. Next on our list we have Pixelville, and I'm gonna be standing in the chunk area to start this one off. Because that sets the tone for pretty much the whole map. This map is it's a 32-player fill, which is by far the largest number out of all of the maps. And you know, I'm not too convinced that's a good thing. One thing, these platforms, there's one chest for every 2 people. So if somebody else gets a sword and you don't, and you're like stuck here or something looking in this chest, good night, you're dead. So yeah, enchantment table at mid, which is a redeeming quality, but no crafting table. There are some crafting tables scattered around the map though. I think one might be in here somewhere. I don't know. I could be mistaken. Yeah, right here. And then there are some more. But yeah, it's still pretty far. If you want to craft an iron sword, if you got your 2 iron ingots, and you want to enchant it before DM, good luck. It's most likely not happening. But I do like the fact that there is actually a second enchantment table. That is a good choice for a 32-player map. I didn't even know there's a chest up here. What the hell? Hang on. Hold up. So how do I get up here? What? Do I like climb out a window? I don't know. But it's supposed to be like a city type feel, and you can see all that. There is a jump here. I can't go from here to here, not because I missed the jump, but because I get anti-cheated, and I lag back down here, and then there's no way out. So shouts to them for that. But yeah, even though it's a massive map, you still, like, most of the places that you can think of where you would fight, like here for example, this little plaza, you're most definitely going to get cleaned. If you're chasing somebody out of here, and you bring them up to here, and then they decide to fight you. Somebody could be coming from spawn, somebody could be coming from the building I can't get on top of, and yeah, either you have to forego the kill or tunnel vision them and probably get killed as a result. So yeah, and like the mazes and all that, it's like, oh, okay, so I guess the version I downloaded did not have the full hedge maze done, but that's neat. But yeah, I am not huge on this map. Just there's a lot of places to fight, but because there are 32 people that can join the game, you're going to get cleaned in most of them. It might be good for a high kill game if you're like running paladin speed kill effect, but that's really about it. I don't really find much about this map good. Not to mention, I don't even know how many nocturne counters there are on the map, but it's like if you jump in here, kind of screwed. Oh, and another jump hitter. Nice. So yeah, it's not that great. Probably also going to throw this one in E tier. Probably above Citadel, just because it has an enchant table. 2 enchant tables for that matter. But yeah, not that great otherwise. E tier. Why the hell do they put so many chests up in high places, man? The next map on the list is going to be Cattle Drive. Now, this map is a 16-player fill. It's actually really small, which is something that I do like about a map. Dude. Yeah, I mean, it's like you can see the whole map from here, you know? It's like you look around, you can see everywhere. The main issue that I have with this map, however, is the fact that it's yet another low chest map. Like you can go to spawn, you know, get yourself a sword out of here, maybe, if you're lucky. But then, you know, if you go back this way, chances are somebody nabbed that one. So that's still 0 chests. You get that one, that's 1, 2, crafting table here, interestingly. Which, actually, there isn't a crafting table at spawn, so, yeah, you know, if you want. And then 3, and then maybe 4. But yeah, there's 4 chests on the main route that I take when I spawn over here. That's not very many at all, and you're probably going to be undergeared going into a fight, really no matter which route you take, because if you go this way, you know, you've got probably 4 or 5 other people on this like general location, and they'll be taking your chests, so good luck with that. Better play a kit that gives you a bunch of stuff if you're gonna want to have a chance on this map. But the fact that it's a smaller map and with smaller fills does incline me to put this in C tier, because, you know, you can't really snowball to an impossible degree like you can on a map like Pixelville, which on a low chest map is good because, you know, if you take this route but you only get like 1 kill maybe around here, and like you only have maybe chain chest plate, gold pants, basically just kind of standard but not max blitz armor, you're going to DM, the guy with like 4 or 5 kills, you know, he won't be just a Goliath that mows you down, because he couldn't find stuff either. So C tier, because, you know, it might not be many chests, but at least it's balanced, and that one route is not significantly better than another. Actually, there is one more problem that I have with this map, and it's that this is probably the best map possible for acid rain. Because, you know, it's a lot of wide open space. The only place you're safe is if you're in one of those houses, or way over there, or under the water. But, you know, I can just bow you from there. So yeah, it's pretty much instant death if you are contesting star and you don't get it. which is another issue I have with the map that's keeping it from going any higher. So, C tier, cattle drive, you know, not horrible. Nice gameplay outside of, you know, the little things. But yeah, let's go to the next map. Yes, Calum V2, the better brother from the Calum series. Nice. So this map, you know, it's one of the three that has Void, and Void automatically means you're gonna land in one of the bottom two tiers. So, because the Void is not as prominent on the second version compared to the first, this one's gonna score a little higher. So, I mean, yeah, it's a bunch of Sky Islands. I don't get why this and the younger Calum are, or this and the older Calum technically, are so loved. Cause I mean, there's just not much you can do if you're like taking the fossil route or whatever, and you get to here and you're trying to climb up, but there's a guy already up here. He doesn't even have to have a sword, and he just knocks you off the map. That makes no sense to me. I hate that. If I wanted that to happen to me, I would play Skywars, not this. It's Blitz SG, not Blitz SW. And on top of all that, it's a low chest map. So, I mean, like, this Enderman has more to his name than I usually do on this map. So, yeah, it's not a very fun experience, but by far better than the older Calum. And it's only a 16-player fill, so, you know, I don't usually dodge it just because of that. It won't be too bad if I do decide to play, but, you know, there's certainly better maps. I would say this would be probably, I'm gonna probably put this in E tier as well, just because of the Void. You know, it's like, I'm glad that it's not as prominent, but it's just a looming threat. If you try and fight somebody on this island, for example, good night. Like, if you don't panic because you're getting close to the edge. But yeah. Also, not to mention anything with those stairs. Those stairs are horrible. Like, you get crit out so easy on those. But yeah. E tier. Let's go to the next one. Oh boy, time for what I believe to be by far the worst map in all of Blitz. I mean, just look at the spawn layout, you know? Like, it's a 12-player fill, so it ties with the Woodlands for the lowest. But I mean, just look around you, you know? It's like, this is one of those where if you try and skip spawn, you get knocked off. If you try and go to mid, you have to get a sword in your first chest. If you don't, you either get pinned against the wall or thrown up over the wall and you die. And I mean, really, the only people that survive are the people who are, like, lucky enough to not have a second person on their ass as they're running across these tiny wood bridges. And the people that get a sword out of their first chest and just massacre at spawn. Like, those are the only two people that survive this at all. Like even the fact that there's a crafting table and an enchant table at spawn isn't enough to save it. This is by far and away the worst map in Blitz SG. This is the one map that I mentioned earlier that is going to land in the F tier. Because it's just that bad. Like, there have been times where I've started to, you know, not dodge it as much because, like, I get an 8k with a stone sword at spawn and I just kill a bunch of people and then clean up whoever's in DM. But my god, this map, it just sucks. Every part of it sucks, you know? It's like, the chests at the very least are close together on a lot of the map, but it's it's really, really bad. like I've seen this map go to star maybe once since I came back in January. So yeah, this map, it's horrible. I don't even want to look at it anymore. Let's just go to the next one. Next on the list we have Alice, which is a far better map and a massive jump in quality from Calum. 24 player fill as per usual, but enchant table at spawn, a lot of chests at spawn. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways out of spawn, which is really good. Not to mention this map has by far the highest number of chests, so there's a very low chance you'll end up like rodless or missing an armor piece, that type of thing. In fact, this is the map that I am most commonly able to get a diamond sword via this crafting table, which is super convenient because it's right next to this enchanting table. And not as many people know about this little tower, but it's a neat little place, and I'm very happy it exists, because having to go spawn to enchant and then having to go super far to craft, it's just it sucks. Especially when you have all the materials you need to make something good, like a gapple, for example, if you get the 8 gold pack, or a diamond sword, that type of thing. But yeah, this map, it's really good. And the only quality that I think it has that I don't particularly like is the fact that it's so big. This is a map where it's very hard to find people. The only times you'll ever see people are when stars coming out, which is when all the sweats arrive, and at the start of the game. So that's kind of just how it goes on this map. That being said, I'm going to put Alice in the A tier because, you know, it's sort of like the anti-bad RNG type map, which is always appreciated. So yeah, it's kind of nice. And I mean, like I said earlier, with that tower, with the crafting table and the enchant table next to each other, that is a blessing. We need to see more of that in maps. But yeah, and it's also aesthetically pleasing. You know, you got the mushrooms, little houses. Overall, really good map. I don't really think there needs to be another one of these where it's so big with all these chests, but hey, nice little treat after having to play like Calum or Winter or one of those. So, yep, on to the next map. Next on the list, we have Aylin's Tower. Now this is, I believe, the only map where you can get a level 30 enchant, I want to say. Don't exactly know the way in here. I think there's a trapdoor with ladders going up, but yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, maybe not level 30, but you can still get good enchantments here. This is basically a Tim player's wet dream, just because. Enchant table with bookshelves there. Enchant table with a crafting table down at spawn, always appreciated. And there's a crafting table in this room. I saw it earlier. Yep, right there. So yeah, this is also a good map for diver players. I typically like to play diver when I'm on this map, just because it's pretty much a guaranteed ticket to deathmatch if you play diver, and then you just stay out here in this general location for the entire time. But yeah. This little place, I will admit that it does not have as many like chests as I would like it to. But, you know, another crafting table there. Nothing to complain about. And yep, I like this map. Just because it's a low chest map, I'm probably going to end up putting this in the B tier, but that's still pretty respectable, you know. It's a good map. I like playing on it, even though people can kind of run forever. I've had that happen a few times, but it's good. And yeah, lots of water means you can avoid Nocturne. There's not really a whole lot you can do. If you can test Star, somebody else gets it and they immediately use Acid Rain, but you know, it happens. Yeah, nice little map. Gonna give it a B tier. If it had more chests, it would go into A tier. Not to mention 16-player fill. Huh. You know what? I'm really thinking this. I'm thinking this might go in the A tier. Yeah, that sounds about good. That sounds good. Aylin's Tower belongs in the A tier team. Love to see it. Anything else about the map? I mean, don't you just love this shot? Right? But yeah, on to the next map. Isle of Despair version 2. This map, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's better than in its older version. But both the Isle of Despair maps suffer from the same problem, and that is being extremely big and extremely vertical. Of course, this is pretty much an astronaut player's wet dream, but for all the other kits, it's not really that fun of a map to play on. It's a low chest map for one thing, so if you're playing a kit that needs a lot of gear from chests, good luck. Right? And yeah, you have your routes. It's they can be alright, but ultimately you're gonna get a lot of your gear by just going around and getting kills. So, you know, if you have the gear for that, good. If you don't, good luck. You're probably just gonna have to avoid fights up until Star comes out. And not to mention, spawn is just so isolated from everywhere else. You have to, like, if you jump down from this side, you have to climb all the way up this tower, which sucks because it's like it's all half slabs and whatnot. And then you get in here, and it's like, this is probably one of the worst spawns for trying to contest Star, because like if somebody tries to fight you, there's like, it's so easy for you to get stuck in between like the chests, in between the walls. It's just, it's very not good for for contesting. Not to mention, Volume 1 has a much worse problem when it comes to this, but the lava near spawn and like this bridge, like who asked for this, bro? This map is some hot ass. I mean, this is a bridge now. They updated it from the download that I got, but hey, you know, there should also be chests down here, but yeah. Isle of Despair B2, everybody. Better than its first version, but still not very good. I'm going to put this probably in the D tier. There's actually a double chest up here. Interesting. But yeah, D tier. Probably just how it's going to go. I don't even know where the crafting tables are. Although I think if there was going to be one, it would be somewhere in this location. But yeah. Actually, wait, no, I do know where it is. The crafting table is here. Yeah. Got a couple of them. But yeah, next map. Next up is going to be City. This map used to destroy my frames on my old PC, but yeah, on my new one it's not so bad. You can tell the theme of this one is obviously a city, but it's like when it comes to gameplay, this one's a lot like Pixelville, but smaller. And I mean that like with the cleans and all that, because like spawn is very close to pretty much all the pathways on this side of the map. As for this side, there's pretty much like one path, but they all sort of converge around here. So for that reason, like you're just gonna get cleaned a lot. And I mean, y'all know me. I'm no fan of maps that are pretty much designed to get you clean, but it is what it is. And another thing that I'm not too fond of when it comes to maps are these like buildings. This map is pretty much centered entirely around buildings. You don't find many chests outside of them. This is the only place to escape from a weirdo with Nocturne. So, yeah, you pretty much have to go into a building, and the rule about buildings is if you go into one and you don't have a weapon, you will die to somebody that does have a weapon. So, kind of just becomes sort of a race to see. I mean, I guess the arcade leads some places. Souvenir shop and all that. It's a cool looking map, but you know, it's not, it doesn't really play that great. I would probably put this in the D tier as well. Yeah, I don't really think I've been to City Hall that often. Oh, there are actually enchantment tables in here if you could block glitch through them, but you know, bruh. But yeah, janitor's closet, interesting. Chest in there. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I don't really have much else to say about City. It's not my favorite map. It's not designed particularly well. Just some of the rooftops you have to like parkour to be able to get out of, so you know. Oh, I thought it said bail for a second. I was gonna be like, what the hell? But it says bake. Alright. Well, oh yeah, and I guess one more thing I should probably add. This spawn also sucks. You can get trapped in it pretty easy if you're going for the star, but at least there's an enchantment table. Let's move on to the next map. I would say this is probably an accurate representation of how I feel whenever I queue into Isle of Despair version 1. It's a dumpster fire. That's simple. As I mentioned earlier, there are these bridges which look secure, but they really are not. You can get punched over the edge so easily, and if there's like a weirdo following you out of spawn, good luck, you know. Like, the reason why I don't jump when I run across these, because if I do, that's the window that people take to knock me over into the lava, and then I obviously don't survive that. And even if I did, you know, like, what would I do? I would climb onto this, get my kit at a minute into the game, and then just sit there until somebody either comes along and finds me, or DM starts and I have nothing. I'm a free kill. So there's that. Hopefully this entire spawn is burned down by the time I come back to it. But yeah, actually I'm gonna go ahead and get the screenshot now before more of it goes. But yeah, moving outside, just like its younger version, this map has a pretty darn big problem in that it's just It's way too big and way too vertical. Like down here, you know, it's fine, but there's also only like maybe 6 or 7 chests spread out between like the 5 people coming down here out of spawn. So yeah, low chest map, lower than its younger counterpart. And then yeah, there's just a bunch of nothing for a little while. Okay, not just for a little while, for a long while. Okay, let's load the chunks a little quicker here. Okay. But eventually you come around, and on the complete opposite side of the map, you have this little house, which, it's alright. You know, Soul Wind's Love Shack. How nice is that, right? You get 1 chest and a crafting table. 2 chests and a crafting table, rather. So, at least you got that. Close the door. Don't want to interrupt Soul Wind wherever he's at. But yeah, I mean, you see it. It really is an island of despair. There's not really a whole lot going on, and now it's raining. How fitting. I actually turned off the rain the moment I logged into this world. But yep, even the universe knows it's raining in a Minecraft game. So yep, that's pretty much Island of Despair version 1. Very not good map. There is actually one more path out this way in the finished version, but it's the same as the other 2. You get knocked off so easily, and yeah, it sucks. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this map. Probably going to put this one. Probably the E tier, to be honest. It's been a minute since I put a map there, but E tier is where this map deserves to go, just because it's like back when Blitz League was still a thing. This map was actually banned because it was just too damn big and vertical. So yep, a little lighting error to end it off on, but yeah, let's go to the next map. Winter is the first map that comes to mind when I think of a low chest map. You have all the chests at spawn, but then the next closest on any of my routes is this one, which is super nice. And then after that, it's this one, and then it's pretty much out into the barren tundra. How about that? I guess there's some over there, but yeah, this map is pretty damn dry. I would only suggest playing it if you are playing a kit that gives a lot of items, because otherwise you're not going to find anything. It's a very not good map. You got a crafting table there at least, which isn't terribly far from spawn, but it's not terribly close either. Also got, you know, the enchant table at spawn, which is a nice touch. Glad to see that there is one at spawn, but this is another map that comes to mind when I think of instant acid rain. Because, I mean, think about it. You know, it's like if there are 4 people contesting the star, and one guy gets it out of, like, this chest, right? And uses acid rain instantly. The other 3 are dead. No questions asked. Like, one guy might make it here, but like 1 or 2 hits, it's over. And then the others, you know, they can't run. And not to mention, this little house and over there in that shed are the only 2. Oh, and there's a cave back over there by the ice lake. But those are the only 3 areas on the entire map where you are safe from acid rain. There are plenty of trees, so if the guy with the star isn't coming towards you, then you know you'll be fine. But if they are, you lose. This map is one of those that is very dependent on star, and I never like maps that are like that. So yeah, I don't really think there's much else to say about it. E tier for certain. I hope I never play on this map again. I can't even give it the point for having open space, because the only place you see that is on the ice lake, and fighting on ice is like, I'd rather fight on this mountain than fight on the goddamn ice. But yeah, just E tier map. This might even be bottom of E tier, like my second least favorite map in the entire game. But yep, that's gonna wrap it up for winter. I'll see you on the next map. So I just realized we're actually in the end biome for this map, which is why there's so many Endermen down there. But yeah, interesting. So this is Moonbase. Moonbase, it's a high chest map, which, you know, I'm always a fan of. There's nothing super goofy at spawn. Crafting table here, which is nice. But yeah, overall, it's a nice big open area. Love to see it. I mean, you even get it here. Oh, cool. I guess that's the death messages from the creator. But first enchantment table is up here, which is close enough to spawn. Like, I'll take that. It's close enough if you need to make like an iron sword, and need to enchant before deathmatch. But yep, got a little lobby area here, interestingly. Then you go out here, and you go through the tunnel, and there's tons of chests down in this location as well. If you go on the left side here of the ship, you'll find plenty of items that you need. So yeah, that's a plus. And then also there's a second enchant table up here. This is the one that I usually go to, because I'll have gotten enough levels to enchant a stone sword by now, and maybe even a couple pieces of armor, who knows. But it's also real secluded from other people, so I don't really have to worry too much about running into anyone, so that's nice. Yeah, getting back to spawn can be tough, because you have to somehow climb down the ladder. But yeah, then you come back to spawn. It's not terribly far. It's a medium-sized map. I'd say it's just right. And definitely a good map for certain. I would put this sort of, I'm leaning A tier, could be B tier. I think I'm going to stick with A tier on this one. Moonbase is an A tier map. Just because there's plenty of space to fight, which is perfect. There's plenty of chests to negate any super bad RNG. And there are 2 enchantment tables not at spawn. So you can go to one of those if you need enchants. So all around, pretty good map. Though I would say my only gripe about it, honestly, is that it's easy to climb up, but not so easy to get down. There was a time when I tried to jump on the slime block, but because there's a carpet on top of it, let me see if it actually works in vanilla, but okay. Interesting. So looks like that's just a Hypixel thing, but whenever you would jump down on top of this, you would take fall damage. For what reason, I'm not sure, but I learned the hard way. So yeah, if I could just jump down from this enchantment table, it would be like the perfect distance from spawn. Like I could get up there, enchant my sword, come down here, and contest Star. But yeah, I guess distance is kind of just the thing with it. I said it's like just right size, but that sort of just depends on how the events of the game go, or if you get slowed down on your way to the enchant table or wherever. But yep, A2 map, good map. Next one. Oh, Docs, where would my diver kill death ratio be without you? Docs v1, I would say. Huh. I don't know, there's a guild message here. Anyway, I would say my preferred version of this is, once again, Docs v2, but that's not to say I don't like the original Docs. It's a nice little map. It's a water map, so like I was saying earlier, diver kill death ratio, definitely thanking these maps a lot. It's a little low on chests. There's like a couple over that way, but most of how I get kills as a diver on this map is by picking off people who jump in and people who just sort of stay over here, and I basically just sit near the water until Star or Deathmatch, and that works, except in the case of Until Deathmatch, where I'll probably end up with gold pants and leather chestplate, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, otherwise this map is pretty simple. I think that I might give version 1 a placement in the C tier. Version 2 may be different. 2 might end up going higher, but 1 is going to end up in the C tier. There are some cool places of interest on V1, like this enchant table. It's also got a crafting table next to it, so you know. And if you're playing Tim, you get a fire aspect. It would be pretty nice to have that on your sword. Yeah, Docs, C tier. Could be better, but V2 fixed most of its issues. So, on to the next one. And next on the list, we've got Proxima. Now, Proxima is a map that I personally like playing on. I don't usually skip it. I would consider it to be a high chest map, just because like no matter what route you take, you can go in here with these numbered buildings, and you won't have a hard time finding chests. Like there's one there, a bunch over here, but yeah, you can take just about any route and you'll be good on this map for gear. Crafting tables and an enchant table at mid, that's a bonus right there. All around, just like it's a good map. There's plenty of like places for cover. Nice. Also, I mean, it looks cool, so there's that. And yeah, gameplay wise, it's definitely very good. Although, like, yeah, there's a lot of flat area, but people can just run forever. That's my main concern with the map. So I would say probably A tier for Proxima. Yeah, just overall good map. Looks cool. And it's real fun to play on. Probably, I don't know if I would put this in my top 3 favorites. Maybe top 5. But yeah. Overall, good map. A tier. Next. Next up, we've got Valley. Crafting table and enchant table at mid. That part is nice, but I would call this probably a low chest map. There's only like 3 back on this route, with like the 3rd main over here. Coming over this way, I mean, you might have a little more luck, but yeah. The map is very diver friendly, which I do like playing diver on this map. I would say it's a good choice because you can just sit in the water and it's pretty much guaranteed DM at the very least. But yeah, nice, there's slimes everywhere. Accurate representation to me when I play Blitz. People are always going slimy slime. But yeah, I mean, low chess map, but it's not big, and it's only a 16-player fill. And if you know me, I like smaller maps. I personally find them more enjoyable than the bigger ones, especially with fewer players. It's like it reduces the chance for some dumbass shit to happen. So yeah, I mean, low chess map, but if you play a kit that gives you a lot of stuff, you'll be good to go. Probably, I would call Valley maybe a B tier. We'll go with that. Yeah, B tier sounds about good. And yeah, the gameplay, if you can find stuff, is good. I'll say that much. But yeah, also there's a crafting table just way over here. I like that there's one not at spawn, but bit of an odd choice. kind of just stands out. But yeah, next. Shroom Valley. I have to say, I do like this map a good bit. It plays pretty nicely. A lot of chests at spawn, enchant table at spawn. It is missing a crafting table, but I'm pretty sure there's one over in here. Yeah, there is. So it's not that far away. And yeah, definitely, I would say, I think I would go ahead and call this a high chest map. Just because, like, it is a pretty small map as well. I believe it's still a 24-player fill. I could be wrong. I haven't played it in a minute, but yeah, high chest map. You don't really have to worry if you're playing a kit like Scout or Archer or Meat Master, where you need extra gear from chests. But overall, pretty nice map. There are places where you can cut people off if they're running forever, which, you know, it's Blitz, so they do. The river is a nice little nocturne counter. I do like having this around, because if some freakazoid comes after me with a star, it's not the best, but I can get in the river and like out tank. Like if I get under here, I'm fine. So yeah, good gameplay. There's also a lot of cover for Acid Rain. I guess I probably should have mentioned in Proxima that Acid Rain is pretty prevalent on there, but I'm gonna stick to calling it A tier. That being said, around spawn though, it's like, it's sort of the same deal with Proxima and Cattle Drive. If somebody gets the star and like there's 3 people contesting for it, one of them gets it, the other 2 people are dead. if the person who gets the star decides to use Acid Rain. But yeah, that can kind of detract from one's enjoyment of the map. But otherwise, I like it. It's a good map. It's real nice. I don't have to worry about finding stuff like ever. And yeah, I would probably call this A tier as well. Next. Mithril Revived. I've got mixed feelings about this map. No enchant table at spawn, but there are actually 3 enchant tables on this map. I think that's the most out of any. And I could be mistaken, but I think this is the only crafting table on the map. I'll have to check on that. Actually, maybe it's not. One of the enchant tables is over here, which is reasonably far from spawn. So there's that. The next one is all the way up here in this tower, with a couple of chests right there. And you can just jump off into the river. It's pretty nice. And then the last one is down this well, down here. So yeah, 3 enchant tables for, you know, no discernible reason, but hey, they're spread out. This is like a map where you're guaranteed to get enchants. Overall, pretty nice, because you can't just camp forever, but yeah. As for finding chests, I would say it's a little harder than a map like Shroom Valley or Proxima, but it's not as hard as like Cattle Drive, for example, or Valley. A lot of water, so you know, diver. This passes the diver test. There are good routes on this map, but you know, it's you do need to have a good route to be able to really contend on this map. This general building is one that I like to go to a lot because it's got chest there, chest there, there. It's got 6 chests, pretty much. So, and on the way here, there is a chest there if I decide to grab it. There, which makes 8, 9, 10, plus the spawn chest is 11 or 12, depending on if I decide to go for it. This one is a little out of the way, but if I need something else extra, I can grab it. 13 right there. Just in case I need like an extra XP bottle. But yeah, with that many chests, usually by the time I get here, I've got a level and a stun sword, and that's really all you need if you're playing like a kit that doesn't give a 6 damage. So Mithril, I would say probably B tier. It's a little lacking in some aspects, but in most it's pretty good. I actually did not know this area existed until I got a world download of it. Huh. There's only 2 chests up here, but damn. Actually, crazy. You can't actually get up here. So this is a 4th enchant table. So yeah, 4 is definitely the most on any map. So big ups to Mithril for that. Sometimes though, like when you're at spawn, you can't really actively track how close the closest player is because it does it by horizontal distance rather than vertical. Like it doesn't take vertical into account at all. So I could be sitting here, star's about to come out in 20 seconds. I don't know if somebody's coming from that way, somebody's coming from that way, or wherever, but there will be somebody up there throwing me off. So yeah. Yeah, Mithril Revive, probably a B tier map. It's fun to play on, but there are definitely better maps in the pool. Next up, we have Seafloor. Now, this is a map that it can get a little awkward to play, especially just because there's so much shit everywhere. Like, I guess it stops people from running most of the time, but you know, but yeah, a lot of chests at spawn, which I like. There's also crafting tables and an enchant table there. I don't actually know if there are any crafting tables elsewhere on the map. I do think it's also the only enchant table. I would definitely call this a high chest map, but you do need a good route because your route will definitely intersect with somebody else's. Because I mean, there's a million ways to go, but eventually, like, you're gonna cross paths with somebody, and you better hope you have more stuff than them by that point. There have been times where like an astronaut has jumped me from all the way up here while I was trying to get star, and it was pretty disastrous. So you know, that's a cool strat that's kind of just exclusive to this map.
So you got some options. Speaking of PvP at spawn, like all the spawn pedestals, that it makes it real awkward to really get out of here if you need to. Because, you know, if somebody's rodding you and they rod you into this pillar, you're kind of screwed. But other than that, it's pretty okay. I mean, you can get out if you need to, but yeah. Otherwise, I don't know if I would consider this to be a very visually appealing map, but the gameplay is very good. I would call this probably a B tier map. Yeah, B tier sounds about right. And I don't usually dodge it, unless I see like a cheater in the queue, but yeah, Seafloor, it's a good map to play on. It's a nice map to grind. There's also this general location which has a bunch of chests, and I think there's another treasure room somewhere else on the map with like a similar type thing going on, but yep, there are some nice builds though. I haven't really ever taken the time to look at these, but interesting. We got Dory up here, bro. Anyway, yeah, I don't really have much else to say about Seafloor. So yeah, it's an alright map. Plays nice, but yeah. Next. Oh boy, another Void map. My favorite. Alright. So this is Pandora. I already hate it because it's got Void. You can see once I come over here, it just drops. There's nothing. And I'd also like to point out that the mid is completely garbage. I have died multiple times trying to leave, but I get like pinned against these grass walls. Not fucking grass. Damn, my blindness knows no bounds. These leaf walls, and I am just unable to get out. There are 4 ways that you could get out reliably, semi-reliably at least, because this, you know, if you're getting punched, you get pretty much screwed. But so yeah, rushing mid on this map is a nightmare. It's one of those where star is super inconsistent, because if you got multiple people contesting, all one person has to do is get lucky over here, and then you're over here, and you're like, well, fuck, and then he acid rains, and then goes straight for you, and you die, so that's real fun. Not to mention, it's a low chest map. I would say this route has enough chests and people on it most of the time to make it worthwhile, because it's like, if you don't get something before kits, you know, you can just kill somebody for it. Going down here has got to be the biggest scam of my life. The furthest I would recommend going is maybe this chest and then skipping out on the rest of it. Otherwise, there is actually an enchant table in this building, which is nice. So, you know, you don't have to go all the way to spawn to get your ass beat by the guy with 2 rounds of paladin pots camping it. I also don't know if there's a crafting table on this map. I haven't really looked around all that much to check. Okay, here's one. But yeah, going inside these buildings is also a scam. I don't know, I think it was Rumble Crumble who built this, and dude, what the hell were you thinking? I mean, the void is one thing, but it's like, if you go in here and you don't have a weapon, that's a death sentence if somebody behind you dies. So yeah, so this little area has plenty of crafting tables from the looks of things. I don't really know about the other side of the map. I wouldn't expect this side to have one, to be honest. Oh, there's actually an enchant table up here. I forgot about this. So there's 3 enchant tables, which is nice, but obviously, you know, it's super spread out, and you pretty much risk getting one tapped into the void if somebody comes up from the wrong way, so that's real nice. And you also run the risk of getting caught in the clusterfuck in this building, so Yeah, you gotta watch your back if you need an enchant there. Yeah, overall this map I would say is probably my second least favorite. And honestly, it might just be a candidate for my least favorite because like I at least get wins on Calum semi-frequently. But this map is just, it's horrendous. It's a 24-player fill. Getting up and down the mountain sucks ass. If somebody's behind you, you're fucked. I think there's a clip that I have in March Throne where I literally have not found a weapon because like, so I went up that way. I checked all of those houses, no weapon. I come all the way over here, and there's this paladin who's been going ham. And then I just have my archer bow. So I shoot him, and then like he camps behind here, and then I knock him off onto the tree, and that's how I got the weapon. I don't even remember if I won that game. But like, it's just steep cliffs like this. It's the mark of an objectively horrible map. Not to mention all the vines in this little river. The cobwebs have gotten me killed before. I've burned so many arrows trying to shoot people on this waterfall. I don't know, man. Like, this... I know I said that I would only put one map in F tier, but... Wow, dude. I mean, I think I might just... I'm gonna break my promise. I'm putting Pandora in the F tier. Goddamn, this map sucks that badly. I genuinely cannot name a redeeming factor that this map has, because like even the extra enchant tables, it's like you run the risk of like 3 people cleaning you in here. God, I mean, it's just god awful map. I think this even got removed for a time, and it should have stayed removed. But yeah, that's Pandora. Get this out of my sight. Hamani is another one that I have mixed feelings about. I do like the general aesthetic of the map. There are some good chest routes. I would still say it's like low chest, but it's not like that bad. My, I guess, main gripe is that people just run forever on this map, and it's like, you would think they'd be easy to catch, but nope, they can just weave you through the whole map, and yeah, it just sucks. The DM is also quite possibly my least favorite DM map, just because like everything is close quarters, and you can't really zone people effectively like a bow or a rod because there's grass in the way. But yeah, the water makes it nice for diver, which is a plus, I would say. And yeah, I mean, I'll say it, I mean, I like playing on it, but there are some glaring gameplay issues that I've run into, and yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about Hamani. It's just, I can find some stuff, but it's not exactly archer friendly. So like, it just doesn't cater to the kit I play that much. And yeah, sometimes the water can be more of a detriment than a help. But I mean, I guess that's why this is one of the best diver maps outside of Deluxe, so pretty neat. And then mid's not horrible. I do like it, but I would say Hamani's probably a C tier map. Just don't really have much on it. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. And next, Cthulhu Island. Yeah, You've probably heard plenty about this map. This is not what I would really call a good map. I think it's the biggest map in the pool. I mean, like, you see this giant ass pirate ship, like that's badass. But the problem is, it's like, just like the rest of the map, it's huge, and there's just, I mean, yeah, Cthulhu is it's an absolutely massive map. I will say that I don't hate playing on it as much as most people do, but I wouldn't really call myself a fan. It's just, I mean, I'm actually pretty sure this is an outdated version that I have, but oh well. The version that's on Hypixel right now is a lot like this. So I think I've been up here maybe once. It has a crafting table, which is cool. Anything else up here? No, this room has literally nothing. There's no point for this room or this room. So yeah, I mean, yeah, not really much to say about it that you probably haven't already heard. The map is gigantic. It doesn't really play all that well, unless you're a diver. But I mean, if you do find stuff, you'll be all right. So I think for that reason, I am gonna go ahead and give this a D tier rather than an E, just because I've got a little bit of a personal bias. I've had, like, some of my better wins have been on this map, surprisingly with more kills. So yeah, probably a safe D tier for me for this map, but I'm sure there are people who think of it differently. Diver Mains would call this an S tier map, but most everybody else put it below. So next, Egypt is yet another map that I have mixed feelings about. There is plenty of room to run, but you can cut somebody off pretty easily throughout most of the map. There are entire sections of the map that just seemingly don't have any chests. So this is like one of the lowest chest maps that exist. Yeah, like there's some over here. There's a few, but then pretty much I think this chest from there all the way to that chest, there's nothing. Not a single. Okay, well, there's that, but yeah, you get the general idea. This is a very low chest map. Gameplay wise, it's not so bad. Although, you know, if somebody else gets star, you pretty much die because they'll acid rain and that's it. My personal favorite route to take is this one back here. I like to take the left pyramid route. But that's only if I get a weapon from spawn, because if I don't, and I don't find a weapon from either that chest or that chest, I pretty much lose if somebody with a weapon comes after me, because once you go in here, you can't really get out. I've gotten kills on like cheaters and Palp 2 players before kits, because they would walk in here without a weapon and I would pull one out of like that chest and it would just be free. So yeah, overall this map I do tend to dodge it quite a bit because it's all sort of in that, like, these first couple chests. If you don't get a weapon, you pretty much, you have to risk going in here to get the rest of the chests, because there really are a lot of chests down here. This is absolutely a route worth taking. You've got a double chest in there, a single chest here, single chest there. So that's already 4. 5, 6. You can't open that one because there's a block above it. 7, 8, 9, 10, which is pretty nice. And then 11, 12 here. Not to mention the 2 chests out front make 13 and 14. Plus spawn is 15. So actually, and plus this one is 16. So neat. So that route is absolutely worth taking. That's the route that can make your game, or make or break your game if you don't get a weapon out of 12 chests. But yeah, overall, when I do get stuff on this map, just like many others, the map it is pretty fun to play on, at least until Star comes out, and then you have to really hope you get it, because if you don't, like I mentioned before, it's practically an auto loss. So but yeah, overall I would put Egypt probably in the C tier. It's one of the lowest chess maps, but there is 1 or 2 really good routes. There are 1 or 2 good routes that can easily remedy that if the right conditions are met. So Egypt C tier, I think that'll about do it. Next, Hypixel is the last map that I have in this world download, or in this download link rather. And this is a map that I do tend to dodge a good bit because it's another low chest map. There are routes that work, but it's a 16-player fill. So ideally, you want to be sort of just in on the action, getting kills, snowballing, getting high-level kit items that you need. And with this map, if you're not playing a kit that gives you a lot of stuff just off the rip, that's kind of not really how your game's gonna go. Not gonna lie, I've never fallen into this 1x1 before, but the fact that it exists is kind of funny. But yeah, like there are a few routes that you take. A route I find myself taking quite often actually is this one back here. There's literally no chest between spawn and there unless you decide to take a little dive, which I would not recommend doing, especially right after you come out of spawn. This is a trap chest, so it has nothing in it. Same with this one. I think, yeah, trap chest, a little red stuff right there. That is also a trap chest. Like crafting tables though, so. But yep, you come over here, 1 chest, 2 chests, and then there's a couple more down here, but then you really have to like go around the mountain to get enough stuff to be competitive if you're playing a kit that doesn't give you a whole lot of stuff. So this is absolutely one of those maps that I would recommend dodging if you don't have, or don't play rather, a kit that gives a ton of stuff. Because eventually, by the time you get around the mountain, you'll probably have passable gear. You might have a stone sword, you might have a rod, you might not. And yeah, I mean, there are other routes, but if you go this way, you're kind of just asking to get knocked into the water, and it's hell on earth to swim out of. Would not recommend, 0 out of 10. But yeah, this is a very sparsely populated map in terms of chests, so you're not really gonna have a whole lot of gear. And if if kits didn't exist, that wouldn't be so bad. I would be fine with that. I would be fine with that kind of dynamic. But there are kits, so chances are you'll run into a paladin who's killed a speleologist, who's killed, I don't know, wolf tamer, and they'll be unkillable. So yeah. Yeah, no crafting table at spawn as well. So, you know, if you do get iron ingots or diamonds or gold, good luck. And it's another where acid rain is very prevalent if you use it off rip and there's people contesting. Because it's like, yeah, there's plenty of trees, so you're not going to get that many people otherwise. But the people that are there at spawn when you use acid rain are dead. Like, you don't even have to go for either of them. They just die. That's just it. So, yeah. This journal location does actually have a few chests. Can I open that one? I can't. This one I can, but that one I can't. So, I stand corrected. This area has 2 chests. So, you know, 2 out of 10 would not recommend. But yeah, the main thing I would recommend is is dodging this map, honestly. It does not really play all that well. I would say this is probably an E tier map. Really not a fan, but I guess it's not. It doesn't have void, so it's not that bad. But yeah, peaks, E tier. That's about it. Next. So from here on out, I'm gonna have to actually get these maps in Blitz and record these clips through the replays, because the link that I downloaded didn't have a bunch of the maps. I think there's maybe 5 or 6 that didn't. But yeah, this is Shogun. This, I would say, is definitely a contender for my top 3 favorite maps. And it's a 16-player fill. It's a relatively small map. People can still run for a while, but I mean, other than that, you know, it's a map that I like a lot. High chest map, so you can get plenty of loot if you plan to kit that doesn't give you a whole lot of that. Crafting table and enchant table at mid. I don't know if there's any others around the map, so I guess somebody could just out camp you and ruin your game that way. But yep. Overall, I mean, it's a nice map for sure. Like, I guess one thing that I wish there was a little more of was like water and accessible parts of the map, because, you know, you've got some back over here, but if somebody's coming after you with, like, and they nocturne, like, you have to be back over here in order to live. But it is what it is. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than that. I would say I would put Shogun probably S tier, to be honest. It's really that good. It's a small fill, high chest map. I mean, overall, I just really enjoy playing on it a lot. Another thing that it's got is a custom DM, which does not actually have a chest in the middle, but, you know, that could be both good and bad, because it's like, at least, you know, people can't just steal an extra gap from the chest if it spawns. But I guess there is one tiny gripe that I have with this map, and that's that this pillar in the middle in DM, it's like people can just circle around it infinitely. Same with the outside, but at least the border can handle that. But yeah, sometimes it's not fun to play around that, but most of the time, like in this DM, I mean, you see me going out. It's like, it's a fun map to play on. So yeah, next. Woodlands. This is definitely my favorite map in the pool as of right now. It's a 12-player fill, which you love to see. It's got like the lowest chance for some dumbass shit to happen. It's a very small map, So, and I mean, there's chests everywhere, so it's definitely a high chest map. And I get so much enjoyment out of playing this map. I really love it. I love just the general idea. There's even like a bunch of different routes you can take. There's the one that leads back in this forest, which has a bunch of good chests. There's the one that leads you to the camp, which isn't as great, but you know, there's plenty in the cave, plenty in the second cave as well. You can go back this way. This little tree-looking ass thing, has a crafting table and a couple chests, which is really nice. And then this cave has 1, 2, 3, 4 chests, with a 5th at the entrance. And then like there's tons of stuff over here, so if you go right out of this general direction, you can also get a ton of stuff. And then if you go into this building, there's a bunch of chests. And yeah, I mean, overall, it's just a really great map. This is obviously going in the S tier, because it's just, the only times I don't have fun on this map are when I'm fighting a cheater. That's pretty much it. But otherwise, really great map. It does actually have a custom DM, which has just the one chest, which is nice because DMs that have more than one can be kind of goofy sometimes, but still pretty alright. And there's not really a lot of running space. I wouldn't exactly call this the flattest DM map, which is ultimately a good thing because people could just run forever, but you can pin people down if you need to. And yeah, it's just that good of a map. Like, even though this guy used 2 blindness pots on me, I still had fun playing because that's just how good it was. And like, just being able to do that as well. It's like, if people can't really run from you if you have a bow, because you can just get up here. There's not really a whole lot of cover unless they're behind these, in which case the border can do its work. But yeah, S tier map, Woodlands, my favorite in the pool. Next, Alexandria. So y'all might remember this as the kick-ass final shot from March Throne, for those of you who watched the montage. And yeah, I mean, this is another high chest map with a bunch of different routes that you can take. My personal favorite is back into the library because it has an enchant table in it, which is a really nice touch because you can get enchanted without having to worry about having to go back to mid. Getting out of here, it can be kind of awkward. Like, you can get trapped at mid very easily just because of these little stairs rather, jutting out of each platform. But otherwise, I like the map. There's crafting tables and an enchant table at mid as well, which is always a good sign. What else? I mean, yeah, you got plenty of places to go on this map. My biggest concern with the map, however, is just the fact that when the star comes out, if there's multiple people contesting it, like, I'm pretty sure, let me see here actually. Okay, so yeah, I got the star in this game, and this poor fella here, I mean, no mercy for Paladin players, right? But it was pretty much over, because like acid rain is just way too prevalent on this map. Pretty sure like a couple other people also died as a result of it, so that sucked. But yeah, overall I would put Alexandria probably in the A tier. It is probably in my top 5 maps. I put it probably high A, something like that. It does have a custom DM arena with Void, which is a little wild, but it's easy to get around that. But yeah, Alexandria, probably going to put it in the A tier. It is a little on the big side, so that's the main thing holding it back. But otherwise, really good map. And so that's about it. Next. Thorin, a diver main's paradise. I would say this map, I honestly do get some enjoyment out of this map, even though it's, from a design perspective, it's very, very bad. These little tunnels have gotten me killed on numerous occasions. There have been times where I've like chased some sorry ass paladin back this way, and like they splash their pots, and like I can't get out. So yeah, there's that. But also just the general idea of having the spawn platforms be up here and having to jump down is a little odd, but and I mean, when the star comes out, this is probably by far the worst map to contest star on, because, you know, there's water all around here, and there's a diver in the game. You're probably screwed if they just like rod you off or shoot you off or something like that. And then they'll swoop in and kill you. That'll just be it. Yeah, I mean, the lily pads are also glitchy. If you get hit on one of these, I'm pretty sure you just rubber band. That's just how it goes. And yeah, I mean, you have to get onto this tiny little island with pretty much no space to run. And if somebody gets up behind you, good luck, you're fucked. But I mean, even if you get the star, this isn't a map where you can just acid rain it out, which is a good thing, admittedly, but if you're like trapped, then there's kind of just nothing you can do except, I don't know, maybe Iron Man and pray, but then you kind of have to waste the star on that. So yeah, it makes me wonder if that's even worth going for at that point. But okay, that's enough complaining about mid. Let's complain about the rest of the map. The water, again, it's just like I said, it's a diver's paradise. I guess this is like the map where the least amount of dumb shit can happen in regards to the star, just because it's like, if you get Nocturne, just jump in here, you're fine. If you get acid rained, get under the water, you're fine, or under a tree, there's plenty of cover. And even with Robin Hood, you know, you could just jump around a tree a bunch and you'll be fine. As for the general quantity of chests, I do feel like I usually get enough on this map to have adequate enough gear by the time Star comes out. But yeah, I mean, I would say it's probably like a mid chest map. It's like there's more than low chest, but less than high chest. So yeah, also these vines, when you're trying to rush mid, it can kind of suck if you get caught on those. But yep, this map also has a custom DM arena, which, not gonna lie, kind of sucks a little, because people can just camp under little bridges and all that and hide forever. But it could be worse. We could be playing on, I don't know, like Shroom Valley, where people just hide under the tree. But yeah, I would call in Thorin, this is tough. I'm on the border of C and D, because on the one hand, I do still enjoy playing on this map, but on the other, from a design perspective, it's awful. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna flip a coin, and if it lands on heads, I will put it in the C tier. But if it lands on tails, I'll put it in D. Flip a coin. Tails? Okay, D tier it is. So that's gonna wrap up the Thorin review, putting it in the D tier. Next. Gulch is the next map on the list, and I'm gonna be honest, I do like this map a lot. It was removed for a little while actually, because actually I don't know why it was removed, but it came back in the December 2021 update, which was pretty nice. Because it's a nice map. You got a lot of space to run. I'd say it's like you can find gear easily enough on this map. Like it's probably another mid-chest map, but yeah, plenty of chests around. The main defining feature of Gulch, though, at least one of them, is the fact that there's no crafting table anywhere on the map. This has been, people have searched for it, and just never found it. If so, I doubt there's a crafting table on this map. There is an enchant table at mid, which is nice. Wish I could go in there, but yeah. So yeah, if you go on Gulch, there have been times where I've gotten like the 3 apples and the 8 gold pack out of a chest, like out of my spawn chest rather, and it's been so sad. Like I'm almost never able to craft a gapple like that, and then it's like the one time I am, it's on this map. So yeah, that kind of tragic. That being said, I don't really have too much to complain about on Gulch. You can still get enchanted pretty easily. It's a bigger map, so there are places you can go if you're hurting for gear, and overall it's pretty alright. Let me see here. So the DM is the other defining feature here. You can kind of see what's going on here. You've got a lot of space in the middle, and then you've got this outside part that's also pretty big. And there have been numerous games where I've been holding down middle and like trying to hit shots on people, but they'll just hide behind these, and it always takes like 2 minutes for the border to get in close enough to really flush them out of there. So yeah, it's no fun to do that. And then even down here, it's like you can just get low grounded and it'd suck. But yeah. So I mean, I've got mixed feelings about the DM arena on Gulch. It's alright, it's nice if somebody wants to actually fight you, but if not, you're gonna be there a while. So yeah, still though, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put Gulch in the A tier because I do still like it. Gameplay is very good. The whole, I guess, stalling DM thing and the no crafting table can kind of bring it down out of S. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up the Gulch review, and let's go to the next map. Next on the list we have Persia. Now this map, I like it. I'll say that right now. I like playing on Persia, even though contesting star can get a bit dicey, but overall, I do like playing on Persia. There's plenty of chests. I would call it a high chest map, which is good for a 24-player fill. Got a crafting table outside of spawn, which is nice. And yeah, I mean, you can already get plenty of stuff from the building in the middle, because like there's chests on the outskirts of I think all of these. There's one there, one there, one there, and then yeah, there's a lot of ways to get stacked even without leaving the mid island, which is super nice. But Even if you do decide to go down to the bottom level, there's plenty of stuff here as well. So if you're playing a low gear kit, you'll still be fine. So this map does in fact get my approval. I guess one thing about it is that with a map that's this big, people can run forever. Like even though it's got some different terrain, like it's got a dip here and all that, but people can still run for a very long time, and that can really throw off your game if a kill that you desperately need is just running from you for like 2-3 minutes, and then you end up losing out on star and that type of thing. So yep. Overall, I mean, I don't really have much to say about Persia. I would say it's probably... That's another one that I'm on the fence about. I'm on that A-B border here. Because, I mean, on the one hand, it's fun to play, but on the other, people run, and it can really screw up your game. So, I guess I'm going to flip another coin for this. If my phone would even respond. Flip a coin. Okay, so apparently flipping a coin is beyond Siri's abilities at the moment, as you just heard. So, I think I'm just going to go ahead and make the executive decision to put this in the B tier. Just because it's like, I like it, but people run, and like, all somebody has to do for your game to be over is get lucky with star. So, yep, B tier for Persia. Let's go to the next one. Bastion is another map that I do enjoy playing on quite a bit. It's got a nice, spacious mid. The spawn pedestals aren't too impeding, so it can be pretty fun to play on. Definitely a high chest map. You can go pretty much anywhere out of spawn and you'll be good to go. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice map. This general location has so many chests. It's like, honestly, you don't even have to leave the walls of the main, I guess, bastion is would be a good word for it. But I mean, otherwise, you know, you got crafting tables outside of spawn, got crafting tables and an enchant table at spawn, which is nice. You also have this enchant table down in here, which is also really cool. There have been a bunch of games where I've been able to get a sharp 1 stone before kits, which has been so nice. So I guess there's that. There's also this river, which is real good for counter and nocturne. Not sure what's going on with the light below this chest. I don't exactly have this one downloaded, so I can't see what's below it, but yeah, I think I dropped 13 in this game. I could be mistaken, but yeah, Bastion is just a really, really fun map to play. Because, I mean, yeah, it's big, and you've got to make sure you get back to spawn in time for star, but otherwise, pretty nice. I would say Bastion would go in the A tier, in my personal opinion, just because plays well, it's always a plus, and really any kit can do well on it. So yeah, you don't have to worry about playing like Ranger or Fisherman or a kit that gives a bunch of stuff to really get by on this map. So yep, pretty nice map. A tier for Bastion. And let's go to the next one. Impact is an interesting map because it's nice. It's a small little 16-player fill, but getting gear is not really as easy. This, like I said before, it's a very small map. Like, there's some chest routes, but overall, I would say this might be my least favorite of the maps that got added in the last 2021 update. So, I mean, fighting at this mid is just hell on earth with all the half slabs, and like trying to get stars also real chaotic. There's not a crafting table at spawn, but I believe there's one tucked away in some corner of the map. I don't know, maybe, actually, yeah, they're over here. They're in this little village, but yeah. So, I mean, it's not my favorite map. Plus the DM is like it's also real small, and like you're pretty much, it's just, I don't really have words to explain it. You basically just, you're confined to a tiny space. You can't really run if you get low, which can be a good thing if you're the aggressor, but if you need to back up, or if you're fighting like a cheater like I was in this case, that can kind of suck. Not to mention, like, this is not as safe of a like platform as you think it is, because people can just, like, they can come up here and like they can get up to here and hit you, so, and then that can throw you off, and then they can just climb on top. So it's definitely like a higher skill cap type map, but I guess I'm just not really that much of a fan of it, because it's like, it's very punishing of like even the smallest misplays. Like I think I moved too close to this fence, and then the guy hit me like twice, and that set me back pretty considerably. But yeah, maybe it's actually here. But yeah, I'm very glad I made Archer, because it's it makes it easy to deal with this kind of people. Yeah, like I just took vertical KV. That's how I got the second hit. But yeah, of course jump resetting is kind of crazy with it, but yeah. Impact, I still do like playing on it, because it's a lower fill map, but overall I would say I'd probably put Impact in the C tier. It's not the best. There are definitely some things about it that could be improved upon, but for the time being, it's not the best, not the worst. That's basically the best way I can really describe it. So, yep, let's go to the next map. One of the last ones we've got left is Greece. This map, it's certainly an experience to play on. I have to say, it's not as bad as in Thorin's mid with the water, but it can really suck if you get punched in by some rando, and then somebody else grabs a sword, and it's just over. So, yeah. Overall, I'd consider this to be a low chest map, just because there are chests, but it's like this, there's two parts of the map, and when you're considering them separately, like, there's way too many people and not enough chests to go around, because you can take any route out of here that doesn't lead to the bottom level, and it's like most of the chests you're going to find are going to be looted, so that's no fun. Back this way, you'll always have about like 4 or 5 people go in here, so if somebody gets a weapon, sometimes you just have to forgo the route entirely. But coming down here, to this part of the map. There's a bunch scattered throughout the forest, but I wouldn't recommend going in there too deep. This place has got a good few. I think by the time you leave this location, you'll have all the stuff you need. But yeah, that's about it. This little building over here, I am very mad that this doesn't have an enchant table, because it's like, it's a library, it's supposed to have an enchant table, you know, but at least there's a crafting table, multiple crafting tables rather, so it could be nice if, you know, you're getting camped at spawn. I don't even know if there is one at spawn. There is not a crafting table at spawn, so interesting. I don't know if there's actually one on this level, but you know, I don't think there is. I think if there would be one, it would be back around in here somewhere, but I've never seen one, and I've played this map so many times, so yeah. Got this nice little area down here that actually leads to the outside, so that's pretty cool. But I would put Greece probably, I don't know, I might put it in the D tier. I just don't usually enjoy playing on it that much. I can still get wins on it. It's an alright map if, you know, there's not much competition in the lobby, or if people aren't like stealing your routes, but you know. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up Greece, and I believe I've only got one map left. I'm gonna have to check it a few times over to make sure that I got them all, because there were a lot missing from the download link, so I probably missed at least one, but we'll see. Next up on the list, we have Riverside. Now this is a map that I think has good gameplay, but does lack in some areas. I do like the whole, I guess, river type feel to it, aesthetically speaking at least. It's a good diver map. It's a river that flows through the entirety of the map from one corner to the other. It's also very good for countering stars like Nocturne and that type of thing. So yep, it is, I would say, a good map, but again, yeah, it just lacks a little bit in some areas. A high chest map, I would say, because really it depends on what route you take, because for some you have to take a longer route than others to be able to get enough stuff. But yeah, I mean, fighting for star can be kind of awkward just because of this, and you know, if somebody else gets it and they auto rain, good luck. So yeah. Still though, I would place Riverside in the, I want to say B tier. Yeah, B tier sounds about right for Riverside. So yeah, because I mean, even though there's so much shit laying around the map, people can still run forever, and that's not fun if you don't have a rod or snowballs or something like that. So yep, Riverside, pretty decent, but could be better in some areas. Next. And the final map is Ruins. This is, in my opinion, a very good map. It's a 16-player fill. There's a bunch of ways to get into mid. You can also just jump off of these if you want to get out of mid. It's real nice. Crafting table and enchant table at spawn, along with a bunch of spawn chests. I don't even know how many this is. Looks like 16. And it's definitely a high chest map. There's a lot of ways to go. You can get a lot of stuff from just like going around and looting chests. And yeah, honestly, it's just a all-around really great map. I put this in the S tier, personally. I have really no gripes with it, except like the DM arena has that giant ass tree in the middle, but it is what it is with that. But yeah, I mean, I usually have a lot of fun playing on Ruins. I never really have to worry about gear. I can still snowball effectively, even if I'm just killing people on the outskirts, because eventually I'll run into people. And then getting back to mid for the star is not so bad. It's not the biggest map, which helps it, in my opinion. And honestly, yeah, not really much else to say about it. There's plenty of cover, so Acid Rain isn't really the best option. I guess technically if we were to use it like right as Star comes out and there's people on like this general side, then maybe, but for most, I mean, you can get onto something pretty easy, so there's that. There's tons of space to run if you're being chased by a guy with a star, but at the same time, you can easily cut someone off. You can rod somebody into like a block if they're trying to escape. You can knock somebody into one of these little caves. Better examples over here. And yeah, S tier map, Ruins. You'll love to see it. Alright, so this is the finalized tier list and ranking. I went ahead and reordered the maps in their respective tiers to reflect just an overall ranking of the 36 maps that I ranked today. So, there are a few more down here. Darkstone, Mirador, and Stoneguard are teams-only maps, and I don't play teams enough to really have much of an opinion on them. And then I wasn't around for OG Mithril, so about that. Feel free to agree or disagree. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching this far if you did, and yep, that's probably gonna wrap it up. So this is my favorite to my least favorite map in order. So yeah, overall, there are some really good maps. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 out of these 36 maps that I think are B tier or higher. Blitz definitely has its share of stinkers, but hey, you know, all games do. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Still putting in work on the next montage. I'm hoping to have that out soon, but I guess you'll see my ceremonial post in the community tab when I'm finished with it. So yep, I'll see y'all in the next one, and goodbye.